Forgot I have to go X Games mode. Right hair anime protagonist X Games mode. Is this event calling me out? Look at the little guy. Oh god, we're fighting again. We're fighting again. We're fighting again. It is Wizard of Oz. I-frames. I got an innovation. Hello. Runs again. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I don't know why I'm exhausted. Anyways, Sweet Dream Journey. We have less than like 12 hours left of the patch, I think, at this point. 6 hours, but realistically, it's even less than that because it is 6 o'clock my time. And I remember last patch, I tried to log in around like 9, 10 o'clock and I was cut off. So it is what it is. We're not doing Sweet Kitchen again. We're not doing Sweet Kitchen again. I refuse. I just edited and uploaded the original Sweet Kitchen video and I forgot how bad it was until I edited the video. And like, not the video's bad, but the event was bad. Like, the event was bad. It was fun, but like grinding for that name card actually was painful. So my thing is, can be exchanged for raid consumables. Okay, so that's what the coupons are for. So that means I think we're done with joint defense. I think I got everything I wanted out of the shop. Yeah, so we're done here. We could go for a really like hardcore run of disordered, what is this? Disordered area. Yeah, we have Thunder bonus, which could actually work with Pheasant Squad, but I don't really need anything. We've already been over the 2 sigil sets that for this event on Mondays kind of suck. So like, I don't think we're gonna do joint defense again. We don't talk about Imago Nightmare. And then all that's left would be limited training. So this might just be a really big limited training video. I don't have Okuninushi, but I think she might be on banner now, which changes things. I have no idea who's the next character, obviously. When I'm recording this, like it's tomorrow we get a new character. So Okuninushi is on banner. I have 11,000. I'll stop at 10,000. We'll just throw down a couple of polls, but I don't know if I'm pulling for this next character. And I have the fun skin for Okuninushi, so that's why I want her. I didn't realize I didn't have her like forever ago. It's all blue pulls. That's kind of unfortunate. All right, one more and then we're cut off. Darn. I might do some more later if I get more shifted stars, because if we do limited training, there's a chance we get more shifted stars, obviously. But we'll see where we're at with limited training. Because the options there is if we finish doing limited training for Oneiroi, Hades, and Enlil, our next option would be to do some of the story. So that's also something we can do. I also feel like my model might be glitching. That's a mild concern I have. I don't know what's up with her today. Let's just continue. Oh, limited training. Yeah. So we're starting with Oneiroi. We need to get her to 70, access key to 50. And then we need to do skill levels, obviously. Okay, so where are we at with Oneiroi? There she is. 70, so we're real close. I have no EXP material, so we're gonna do a quick farm. I do have swigs. I have plenty of swigs. We've been over this. This new, how much is one run of this new domain? 40. Okay. By new domain, I mean they added a new level of this domain to give higher level drops. Let's just rock it. This team worked last time, so let's just go in. I'm so tired today, by the way. Also, my OBS is like, Aether Gazer in my OBS is lagging. That's strange. This whole video might be a mess, but you know what? It's not a super important video because we already kind of did the events. I know there's event story, so maybe I run through, do a little bit of limited training, and we circle back to the event story. But also I don't feel like reading, so that's a problem. I also forgot how Bosom Bow works, apparently. So, forgot I have to go X Games mode. White hair anime protagonist X Games mode. We gotta do that, but we probably should do event story. So I'll use, I don't think I need to use my swigs to access the event story. So we can just kind of do this really quickly, use up all my swigs, and then go from there, I think might be a good option. So now we can level up to 70. She's good. One really quickly. I need one of these so that we can level break. I'm not gonna level past that though. I just wanted to raise her max level to 80 so that she can level up passively if I throw her on a team. So that's how we do that. Level up all, boom. I need more of these then, so that'll be our next one. We'll run factor. Did they add a new one of this too? I don't think so, because it's letting me do multi-clear, so we didn't. It was just for EXP materials that they added a new stage for, which is kind of weird, but also I like it because I needed something more than the purple mats, so I'm glad we have gold mats now. I'm totally fine with that. All right, let's go. So we'll take a look at the event story after this, but I think the thing with the event story is that it's permanent, so I don't really need to worry about getting it. I don't know what I need to do, because I feel like my brain is not like functioning well enough to do story, We'll take a look in a second. Level up as much as we can here. All right, that seems to be it. So the access key needs to hit level 50. Oof. All right, I did as much as I could there with what I have stamina-wise, so we'll circle back. What does it want me to do to spend 300 swigs? That's more than my level cap. What the heck? Okay, limited training. I did not do anything, it feels like. Of course I can get more sweet kitchen rewards now. Okay, Sweet Dream Journey. It's a side story, no? If I hit this button, please don't throw me into something. Okay, cool. New friend. Oh, and it uses stamina. Oh, that's unfortunate. Like, I have plenty of stamina. That's not a problem. We're fine there. Because also, I'm playing with the English voiceover. And as of, like, at least 6 months ago, we no longer have full English voice acting. So I'm gonna have to read it regardless, so we might as well just do it. Also, I don't know if side stories always have voice acting. Okay, I have 10 stamina, so at the very least, we're gonna do this first new friends stage and see what's up, see if I enjoy the event. Because also, it might take multiple videos now to finish the event, and I don't know if I want to go all in like that. I'm really tired all of a sudden, so like, I don't know if I want to go all in like that. Oh, what do I, emergency rescue and feedback, right? Is what I usually use? I think so, yeah, well, sure, that's fine. For ninja. All right, let's just go in. We have normal Oneiroi. Let's see what happens. How long is this event gonna take? So a long time ago from an unknown character. Don't all fairy tales start with this sort of opening line? As long as the story is situated far enough away from the present, people won't care if the story is true or false. If you just say a long time ago without saying how long exactly, those people who usually love poring over the details won't care either. Is this event calling me out? I'm one of those people who likes to pore over the details. Oh no! In short, what I want to tell you today is a story about growing up. As for our protagonist, they're just an adorable child who loves to dream. It's Oneiroi. This is a weird event though. So Oneiroi fell asleep by accident, Drowsy is snoring, and Oneiroi turns over in a daze. This places a sudden squeeze on Drowsy, which she is holding in her arms, and the resulting cry wakes her up instantly. Okay, so she just like squeezes the thing. She apologizes to Drowsy. Drowsy is still making snoring noises. And she says, "What's the matter?" And Oneiroi sits up and looks at Drowsy, who is pacing in a circle anxiously. Isn't that something dogs do? Something seems to be glittering in Drowsy's fleece. Oneiroi takes a closer look and sees that the glint is very similar to the reflection one sometimes sees on candy wrappers. So it's like holographic? Before Oneiroi can see more clearly, Drowsy runs away. And in Drowsy snoring language, Drowsy says, "Things have become rather odd." Oneiroi says, "What is rather odd? Hold on, Drowsy, where are you going? That's weird. And where am I?" I have no idea what voice to give Oneiroi, by the way. I haven't played this game in forever. "I seem to be in a dream, but it also feels like I'm not. Were there 2 suns in the sky before?" I've said this before. Like, the usual trope is multiple moons, but I think multiple suns is just as cool, but harder to execute because the whole, like, that would make things much hotter sort of thing. And like, if it gets too hot, people just start dropping like flies. So like, I get it. I get why multiple suns is not more utilized in fantasy, but this is a dream, so anything is possible. She says, "I must find Drowsy first. Or has Drowsy already returned home? Madam Housekeeper should be waiting for me too. The Sweet Dream House is along the 3rd row on the left under the 24th star." I don't know what any of this is set up for, what she's talking about at all, and I'm just assuming it's how like when you're in a dream, everything just makes sense for some reason. But Oneiroi is counting and starts pointing at the giant screen full of stars above her as she counts. So it's a screen. She's still counting, and then stops counting abruptly. A few rounds of restarting from 0 later, the result remains the same. There's no 24th star along the 3rd row on the left-hand side of the sky. He just wants to know where Drowsy goes, and Oneiroi takes a single step forward, but stumbles and nearly trips over something under her foot. She steadies herself with some difficulty, raises her foot, and looks down. And she's tripped on a piece of candy. There are, in fact, several pieces of candy scattered on the ground, and in the sunlight, they formed a glittering line. The glint here is similar to what Oneiroi saw on Drowsy's fleece earlier. I'm just assuming it's like holographic. Oneiroi wants to know if Madam Housekeeper gave them to her, and the housekeeper could have given these to her on the sly before she left the last time. For some reason, she's always giving Oneiroi candy in the sneakiest of ways rather than just giving her the treats outright. It's kind of cute. Putting the question of the origin of the extra candy aside, Oneiroi realizes that she doesn't know the way back home from this place. The 2 words together, Oneiroi realizes, is so hard to say. Like, say that 5 times fast. There's too many R's. Too many R's and too many vowels. Oneiroi runs and runs, but ends up bumping into what feels like a wall. Oh, it's the invisible game wall. You can't go past that point yet. She looks up and sees that the wall is actually an armor-clad soldier with a giant poker card on his head. Wait, is this like Alice in Wonderland vibes? That's really fun. I love Alice in Wonderland, so I love when like games play with the concepts of that. Look at the little guy! They say, where'd you come from? And Oneiroi says, have you seen a sheep about this big come this way by any chance? Are you talking about this? The poker soldier raises the plushie in his hand. Drowsy is screaming. And Oneiroi says, why do you have Drowsy? It's such a wonderful and rare thing. Our mistress will be so happy when we give it to her. It's definitely a play with Alice in Wonderland. I love that, by the way. Oh, so Poker Soldier B, which is not on screen, says, you know, this little girl looks kind of familiar. Is she the one on the wanted poster? Only thing I can assume here, yeah, right, is the quote-unquote mistress is actually the other Oneiroi. Either that or that's like her, like Oneiroi's gonna power up later and she's gonna be is it Dream Shade? Is that the new name? Anyways, back to Poker Soldier A. They say, wow, you're right. We really are in luck today. Let's grab them both and present them to our mistress. Okay, can we not say mistress? I feel like we keep saying it. You couldn't have come up with a better name for that. For whatever reason, loading screens lag on the PC client, but only in my OBS. So that's weird. All right, we're in. Are we fighting? Or yeah, we're fighting. Here's the thing. I don't know how to use this Oneiroi, so I'm just kind of like hoping for the best. Luckily, you can stay back here though, so this is fine. And the stage is made so you're able to clear it this way, right? Oneiroi's skills kind of come in clutch though. She has to return home. Are we done? Are we done? We froze. Oh, there's Drowsy. You good? Oh, we're back to the story. Okay. Oh, wait, that's not Drowsy. Wait. The mystery sheep says, you jerk. Why have you abducted my child? What the heck? Yeah, abducted your child. What are we talking about? The soft and woolly creature standing in front of Oneiroi appears enraged and keeps ramming at her with body. Oh, where'd my mouse go? Oh, there it is. Oh my god, my mouse keeps disappearing for some reason today. However, her fleece is so fluffy and soft that the admittedly fierce attacks feel no different from bouncing off a soft mattress again and again. Oneiroi says, hey, what are you doing? And the mystery sheep says, looks like you're a child yourself too. Where are your parents? Why did you abduct my Lambie? What exactly do you want? Do you think Drowsy's Lambie? Yeah, what? So this is now Mama Sheep. Says, stop denying it. The one in your hand is my... Hold on. I don't think my Lambie is as white or as black. Oh, God. So Oneiroi, still not quite sure what's going on, lifts up Drowsy so that the Mama Sheep can have a better look. She says, are you talking about this? This is Drowsy, one of my best friends. I'm sorry, but I don't understand a word you said. The Mama Sheep looks up at the half-black and half-white lamb and studies it for a while. A look of embarrassment appears on her face. Are sheep colorblind? Is that what this is a gag to? I don't know. She says I should be the one saying sorry. Drowsy, that's a cute name. Drowsy looks so much like my own child that I thought you'd abducted him. But why were you fighting with those soldiers just now? And how did they all lose to you? We're built different. We are built different. Oneiroi says they wanted to take me away and I don't want to be taken away. That's all. And the sheep says, so they are the baddies. I really made a mistake back there. We ask if her child is lost, and Mama Sheep says, I don't think so, but he left home without telling me. So Oneiroi says, what does he look like? Maybe I can help find him. He looks very much like me. The color of his fleece and his appearance are both very similar to mine, only that he's smaller. How did you think? No, we're not even gonna get into that. I don't know how you thought Drowsy was your kid. I lost my mouse again. But we'll keep an eye out for him, yep. What's your name, by the way? Seems rude of me to talk to you for so long without asking. And obviously Oneiroi says her name is Oneiroi, and the sheep says it's rather difficult to pronounce, but when you do pronounce it, it feels as cozy as a marshmallow melting in your mouth. But why are you out here on your own? Where are your parents? And where are you going? If you're in some sort of trouble, just tell me. Maybe I can help. You're still a child, so don't try to handle everything by yourself. And the Mama Sheep lobs too many words and questions at Oneiroi all at the same. That's what I was thinking, that she just keeps going. Lobs too many questions all at the same time, causing her to stand there in a daze for a moment. I would do the same. I wouldn't know what to start with. I also forgot her, over half of what she said already, so. Oneiroi says, I want to go home. Oh god, we're fighting again, we're fighting again, we're fighting again. She's hitting all of her skills. Does Oneiroi have a, okay, she does have a dodge. I thought it was just a shield dodge for a minute, but no, she has an actual dodge. Literally Drowsy, I feel like Drowsy's doing all the heavy lifting here, I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, Mama Sheep is helping us too! How cute! You know what this has similar vibes to? It has really similar vibes to that one Honkai Impact 3rd event from a year ago. I think it was one of the Grisio events. I don't really remember fully because it was a while back, but I really liked both the Grisio events. I think it was the first one where Ellie's a fairy. Yeah, that one. I really liked that event though, so I'm down. Oh, I thought it was gonna proc another cutscene. No. Oh, it seems almost more like Wizard of Oz sort of vibes that we're getting with this one, mixed with Alice in Wonderland, if that makes sense. Because we keep making friends along the way and they all are looking for something, and that's very Wizard of Oz. Which also is timely, I guess, because the Wicked movie is a thing now, apparently. The robot is screaming, though, it needs help, and we're on our way. But the road is blocked. There's no way to get over there. Okay, and we're using the sheep as a stepping stool. All right, so we're being led to the square. It's just gonna pop me in. So that was actually stage 1. Maybe? Unsure. It either we're still in stage 1 and this is gonna be really long, or it's automatically throwing me into the next stages, which could be a lot better. Like if it's doing that, that's fine. But also, that's a little bit difficult sometimes because it can make these videos really long because I don't have a place to stop. It's only after quite a bit of exertion by Onerai that the bricks holding down the rather big fellow come off of it. So this is our big fellow. No idea what sort of voice to give you. We'll just figure it out. They say, thank you so much. Now, I'd like to ask you and Ms. Wooly over here to stand back a little, lest I end up hurting you by accident. Mama Sheep says, Ms. Wooly? I rather like this name. There's a bang, and the giant creature was unable to move earlier, as its joints were previously held down by the bricks. Now that Onerai has removed these weights, it's able to break through the remaining restraints around it with a few swings of its arms. Onerai says, doesn't it hurt to do that? And the robot says, I'm a robot, which means that I don't have any sensory systems, including that for pain. And giving me a sense of pain would raise a host of moral and ethical questions. That's so true, though. Which is why people don't usually give robots sensory systems at the time of manufacture. Onerai says, I don't get you. I love her. The robot says, so I don't hurt at all. Beep, beep. Onerai says, that's good to know. Why are you here? She's like, okay, what are you here for? Okay, enough about the pain receptors, or whatever the heck you're gonna call them. Why are you here? The robot says, I'm afraid I can't answer your question because my thought thinking module is missing. You can understand it as, I don't have a brain. It is Wizard of Oz, because this is, you don't have a oh my god, wait. I don't know what Mama Sheep is supposed to be. They're missing their kid. They're looking for their child. But the robot, isn't it like the Tin Man doesn't have a brain? And that's what he's looking for? So they're all going to find the wizard to like get some, so that he doesn't have a brain. Okay, so that makes sense. And, oh wait, Onerai wants to go home. That like Dorothy, okay, and her little sheep is Toto. This makes so much sense. I still don't know who Mama Sheep is supposed to be, but this is really fun now. Mama Sheep says, but how can you move if you don't have a brain? I don't even think people can survive without one. Actually, you know what? I'm literally gonna look up the Wizard of Oz characters because it's been a long time since I've like read or watched any Wizard of Oz derivative. And like, I don't necessarily plan on seeing the Wicked movie, so it's just been out of my radar for like a long time. Wizard of Oz, I keep saying Wizard of Odd, but the Wizard of Oz characters, it's the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man. Is Mama Sheep supposed to be the Lion? What's the Scarecrow want? Oh no, the Scarecrow lacks a brain. Okay. The Tin Man, I think, wants a heart then, right? Yeah, the Tin Man wants a heart, and then the Lion wants, like, courage. So what is Mama Sheep supposed to be? Maybe the Lion? I don't know. I think the Mama Sheep is just an extra character they added in for some reason. Maybe they just needed a filler. But the robot says, like I said, I'm a robot. I work differently from ordinary people. The lack of a brain isn't really a big deal, since all I need are programs telling me how to operate. Maybe the robot is supposed to be the brain and the heart, because the robot also lacks like emotions, or like at least can't feel pain at the very least. I don't know what this is trying to get at, but I hope it's like a Wizard of Oz retelling, because that's culturally relevant as well. Onerai says, that sounds really cool. Having said that, I'd prefer to get my brain. No, my thought-thinking module back. Okay, so no, he's just looking for a brain. There must be something important in it. But how do you look for something when you don't even remember how you lost it? I'm unable to provide you with a definitive answer for now. But my information retrieval module is proof that as long as we find the Dream Master, we can find the answer that we want. So the Dream Master is like the wizard. I don't know who Mama Sheep is supposed to be, but once we get our third character here, like our third companion, maybe we can figure it out from there. But Onerai says, Dream Master. It feels like I've heard this phrase before. Do you want to come with us then? The robot says, where are you going? And Onerai says, we're going to the Sweet Dream House. The robot says, location name not found in database. Please define the location, Sweet Dream House. Mr. Robot keeps saying things that I don't understand. So Mama Sheep says, the Sweet Dream House is a house that's made of cookies and candy. However, in order to get there, we first have to find a long, long gallery. I feel like that's just so the gallery is going to be the library stages. They just wanted to reuse combat stages, maybe. Which I'm pretty sure this is a limited story, so I can't knock it. That's what most gacha games do. If we have new stages, I'll be surprised. That sounds like a rather wonderful place. The robot beeps. Who knows? Maybe the Dream Master likes to hang out there too. Ba-bum. Okay, so that was new friends and its full thing. Okay, confirm. I think we could do the rest of the. My one thing is I want to know how long this is. Oh, I thought that button was something else. Never mind. I guess we just keep going until we finish. I wish I knew how long it was. I hate when they do these stages like this where you can't see the next nodes, because it's like, I don't know how long this is actually going to take. So our next part is called An Encounter in the White Knight Gallery. Oneiroi has visited this gallery in the past, but it doesn't look like this. Let me grab some swigs, right? So now we are ready to go. Let us engage. I'm assuming it won't be that long because Wizard of Oz isn't that long either. The robot says that its memory module is still intact and that there's some map information in it. So instead of relying on the vague memories of the mama sheep, it's probably a better idea to use hard data. And so the group moves off according to the robot's directions and ends up walking in circles around the houses. Oneiroi isn't too worried though because the sun remains high overhead. This means that she still has plenty of time. But that's assuming that things are working normally. Oneiroi looks up at the two suns in the sky and suddenly a frightening thought pops up in her mind. What if the suns are broken? What would that mean? She says, "How much longer do we have to walk, Mr. Robot?" And the robot says, "We have to take a right turn at this intersection." Mama Sheep says, "The last time we were at this intersection, we took a right turn, and we ended up back here anyway." It's probably like a maze of some sort. Like, its purpose is to confuse people and like keep people here forever or something. I'm really struggling to talk today, by the way. But as they pass the same clock tower for the third time, the mama sheep insists on taking the route she remembers, and they finally get to their destination. It's fine. Our robot's trying his best. He doesn't have a brain, remember? Why did we trust him in the first place? Oneiroi says, "Yes, this is the place." And the sheep says, "I should have trusted my memory more." Okay, so if you're like, "Oh, woe is me," does that mean you're courage? Because that would make more sense. Because you definitely have emotions and a brain, so... The robot says, "My apologies. I guess I should stop trying to be brave until I find my thought-thinking module." Okay, all right, so they're like lamenting on what the other one doesn't have or wants. So she's looking for bravery and her kid, but then the robot is looking for a brain, so we need to find somebody who lacks emotion that we're looking for next. Because Oneiroi just wants to go home, so we need the fourth. Oneiroi says, "It's okay, Mr. Robot. You were just trying to help. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, once we pass through that long hallway over there, I'll be home. Let's go." I love that this is a Wizard of Oz retelling, because I feel like I haven't gotten one of these in a game in like a very long time, if at all. So I'm just like, I'm really happy about this. It is slightly unsettling that we have no music though, I will say that. The mama sheep says, "So this is a gallery too. There are many beautiful paintings here. Who painted them?" And Oneiroi says, "I did." "Wow, that's amazing. I guess it makes sense since this is the hallway that leads to your home. The hallway has a name too." Oneiroi says it's called the White Knight Gallery. "That has a nice ring to it, like your name. What are the paintings about?" Oneiroi says, "Things that happened to me while I was playing here. When I'm happy, I like to record what's going on in my paintings." All right, are we on to combat? Oh no, we just have video. That's nice. Mama Sheep is silent for a while, although it looks like she has something to say. Should we get like a shot of this for thumbnail purposes? Maybe. The robot says, "So what were you doing here when all these were happening?" And Oneiroi says, "I was, this." After a close look at the paintings before her, Oneiroi comes to realize that she has zero recollection of the events depicted in them. That would also make sense for like a dream scenario. Oneiroi says, "I don't remember at all. Drowsy, do you remember these?" Drowsy shakes his head. I started reading and literally like my brain just like short-circuited because my neighbor did something upstairs that was just like they banged on the floor and it was like the words just jumbled. This is why I would like some music. This is very unsettling that there's no music playing. Mama Sheep says, "You said that when you want to paint..." Oh no, this is just messed up. Okay. "When you want to paint when you're happy." Okay. "But when I look at these paintings, I keep feeling that..." The sounds only says, "I keep feeling that you weren't that happy." What happened? Wait, why was it sound only for a second? Wait, Oneiroi is just responding like normal. She says, "Yeah, I get what you mean, but I can't paint at all when I'm not happy. This is really strange." Mystery voice, which I'm assuming is probably our fourth, but I'm not really sure, says, "So you weren't happy in here at all, am I right?" And Oneiroi says, "Huh? No, that's impossible. I really like playing with everyone. Of course I'm happy. These paintings, I don't remember them at all." Ah, flashbang. So Oneiroi is like out. Mama Sheep is freaking out. Didn't know you could faint in a dream, but I guess that's, we learned something new today. The robot says, "You were staring at your paintings and then started talking to yourself." The sound only. "Ms. Woolley was so worried about you and kept trying to rouse you, but that didn't seem to work." Oneiroi says, "Maybe I was distracted." Well, Mama Sheep says. You looked a little upset while you were distracted. Since you don't remember these paintings at all, maybe someone placed them here as a prank, so don't take this too seriously. We'll paint together when you get home, okay? This is like, just even referencing like being out of the dream. It's so, I actually really like how they set this up. But we're going back now. Oneiroi turns around and her eyes meet with another pair, one that can only be described as jewel-like. For some reason, this feels really, really familiar. Oneiroi says, who are you? It's only at this point that everyone else notices the little girl, who's about the same height as Oneiroi, standing quietly to the side. First of all, was that the other voice? Second of all, is this like, what is it, Dream Shade? The robot says, looks like we were all a little distracted just now. I mean, we didn't even notice that there was another person next to us. Mama Sheep says, hey, young lady, are you here to look at paintings in the gallery? And, oh, not Oneiroi at all. She says hi. And Oneiroi says, who are you and why are you standing here? Oh, okay, so they're just using the character model. All right, cool. The puppet says, Puppet has no name. Puppet came over here when Puppet saw you folk. So Puppet is looking for a heart because they have no emotions. Okay, because they're a puppet. Mama Sheep says, well, Miss Puppet, it doesn't look like you know this place very well. And she says, yeah, I was originally brought here by my string, and then the strings broke and I became lost. I feel like I'm starting to overlap on voices, so I am just going to keep using dialogue tags for characters, and that's fine. That's okay. I was not prepared to do story today, and that's fine. Oneiroi says, so are you looking for those strings of yours? Miss Puppet ponders a while, nods her head, and quickly shakes it. So she just did both, technically. Yes and no. She says, I want to look for my strings, but I want to come with you folks, too. The robot says, Miss, these things don't have to be mutually exclusive. If you come with us, we can also help you find your strings. So the strings must be a reference for like emotions or her being able to like do things. That's her heart. Mama Sheep says, you must be so lonely being out here by yourself. And Oneiroi says, of course you can come with us if you wish. So the puppet says, let's go, and Puppet is happy. See, because that's the thing with Wizard of Oz is you get to the wizard scene, and the wizard's like, surprise, you didn't need me to do anything. You actually had all these things you wanted all along. Because even the puppet says that Puppet is happy, and hey, that's an emotion. Surprise. But anyways, she says, are those folks behind us coming along too? So this is where we have to fight. The poker soldiers! Yeah, it feels like a mix of Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland, because it's like you have like these card soldiers that is very Alice in Wonderland-esque. And the Dream Master feels more like an Alice in Wonderland, Queen of Hearts situation than like the Wizard in Wizard of Oz. But I'm not mad. I think it's actually fun to combo it like that. Oh wait, I have my friends fighting with me. That's so cute. The soldiers are screaming. So let's go. I'm just gonna stay right back here. I like how the robot is literally just like ground pounding these guys. There is dialogue on screen, but I am not paying attention to any of it. I'm gonna be so real. I'm not fighting anything. Like my hits just aren't landing. Oh, the robot showed up because one of these was gonna jump me. All right, oh, I'm clipping into the robot. So let's go. We're getting out of here. Oh, there's more of you. We are now in top-down mode for some reason. I don't know why it moved me into top-down mode, but I kind of hate top-down mode. We went through this already with the Thunder Parade event like ages ago. But oh, hello. Off we go. But yeah, Thunder Parade also had top-down combat, and I didn't like it then either. So off we go. Come on, guys. Oneiroi, move it. Every time I see like the circle, I'm like, oh, okay, we're almost done. No. Ult time, baby. I-frames. I got an evasion. Oneiroi, like how? I feel like her like original Oneiroi A rank doesn't have as big of a hit radius. Does that make sense? I feel like that might be what's happening here. And like she doesn't auto lock onto an opponent if they're like super far away. Like every time I see this, I'm like, okay, we're done. Because that's the thing, I want to finish this now, but also, oh, the gallery is about to fall apart now. That's not good. Like I want to finish this event, but also I was not prepared for story today, and I'm kind of exhausted, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, she's yawning, I'm yawning. Ah. Oh, we're not done yet. Okay. The robot says, I'll stay here and try to hold them back. Keep running. So you have, wait, I keep thinking you're the one who wants bravery, and because that would be very brave. The robot uses its heavy arms to strike at the poker soldiers again and again. Seeing the robot's fierce attacks, the poker soldiers immediately retreat and do not make any attempts to step forward. Then there is a cracking sound, like the sound of biscuit wafers breaking into two. Okay, that's a cute reference. At first, the sound was very faint, but as the robot pounds on the ground over and over, the sound becomes increasingly frequent until it no longer sounds like wafers breaking, but more like the sound of sand and gravel crashing down. Yeah, that would be the buildings breaking in the background. Oneiroi says, it's getting too dangerous. Over here, Mr. Robot. And the robot swiftly runs forward, a trail of cracks swiftly developing on the ground in its wake. I am struggling to speak. I need to take a nap after this. I was going to record another video, but I'm taking a nap as soon as I finish this event, however long it takes. Very soon, the robot manages to make its final leap, and the road behind it shatters completely. The poker soldiers chasing them have no time to react, and they all fall into the bottomless starry sky. The robot says, "Wow, that gallery is real fragile. Thank goodness that road didn't get me. Had it taken me, I might have to play cards with those soldiers for the rest of my life." Oneiroi says, "It wasn't like this before. I laid those bricks myself. They were very heavy and very solid. The dream is breaking. Not really sure why, but it is." Ms. Puppet says, "Now that the road is gone, how do we get back?" And the robot says, "Here's my suggestion. If you're strong enough of a jumper, you can use the hovering rocks to hop back to the other side. We just need to get the Dream Master and they'll let us out. There's no place like home, right? Listen, I can get out of here. You guys gotta figure out the wreckage yourselves. That is not my job and not part of this event." Ms. Puppet says, "That's a little tough." So Mama Sheep says, "Let's not worry about that for now. At least we're close to our destination, aren't we?" Oneiroi says, "Yeah, the sweet dream house is right over there. And you don't have to worry about the gallery, everyone. Madam Housekeeper over at the sweet dream house is incredible. She'll be able to fix the place." I feel like we're calling them Madam Housekeeper, or Oneiroi is calling them Madam Housekeeper, but it's actually this Dream Master. They're the same person. The Dream Master is also probably also Oneiroi. The robot says, "Really?" And Oneiroi says, "Mm-hmm. As long as it's in the dream, she can do something about it." It has to be Oneiroi, right? Because at first I thought Madam Housekeeper might be Hades, but Hades doesn't do dream stuff. That's an Oneiroi thing. Like, that's literally part of the story. We use Oneiroi and her magical abilities to see in the past via dream magic. This is making me sleepy, though. Mama Sheep says, "Then she'll also be able to help find my Lambie. And she'll be able to locate my thought-thinking module tool, too," from the robot. "Who knows? She might just be the Dream Master I'm looking for." That's what I'm saying. That's like the same person. Ms. Puppet says, "And I'll be able to find my strings." So Oneiroi says, "Let's go again." Once again, that was the end of that stage. I literally don't know if we're gonna finish this. I'm at a point where because there's this one thing I did with a PGR story at one point in time where I started it, got so exhausted, and also it was not safe for content at all. It would have gotten demonetized immediately. So I just stopped playing it about halfway through and was like, never mind. I haven't like half a mind to do that right now, but also I want to find out what happens, but I'm tired. All right, so return to the dream house. Oneiroi went back home of her own volition. Is that really what happened? Wait, does Oneiroi just leave? If Oneiroi leaves, I'm done with this event, because I would hate that being a setup. The scenery around the sweet dream house is a stark contrast to the other places they've seen. We're getting some Candyland vibes now. Here, the sunlight is enveloped in a light pink veil, and there's also a faint sweet smell in the air. Oneiroi says, "Madam Housekeeper, I'm back." Oneirai's voice echoes up and down the empty hall. This, particularly in light of the overflowing number of desserts present, causes a sense of incongruity. Because this like creepy empty house and like this like light, airy, cutesy, not very demure Candyland house. But there's no response. Oneiroi says, "Madam Housekeeper, are you there?" Oneiroi's voice echoes back and forth 5 times along the smooth surface of the lollipop before it finally dissipates. After she calls a 3rd time, the housekeeper finally appears. A tall figure dressed in purple and black emerges from the candy bushes at the back of the structure. Okay, so isn't this her weapon? They say, "Who is it?" "Oh, it's you, Oneiroi." Oneiroi says, "What took you so long, Madam Housekeeper?" "Oh, you're Madam Housekeeper?" The butler says, "I'm sorry, I was attending to something." Okay, so Madam Housekeeper is the butler, and then the Dream Master is somebody else. Are we following? Because I'm not. Oneiroi says, "Attending to something. Oh, by the way, I have something to ask you." The butler clears their throat and says, "It's a good thing you're back, miss. Please don't leave this place on a whim again." Oneiroi says, "Leave on a whim." The butler says, "Let's get inside now. And who are these people behind you?" The robot says, "Would she have noticed me earlier had I been bigger, taller? Beep beep. Now it seems like you all want different things. I thought you just wanted a brain." The sheep says, "Please, you're already blocking the rest of us from view as it is." Ms. Puppet says nothing. And Oneiroi says, "These are the new friends I made on my way home." So the butler says, "I see. Welcome to the sweet dream house." Okay, so we're not returning home. This is home, technically. This is very much giving Howl's Moving Castle, and I love it. Just had the absurdity of everything in this room and the colors and everything. I love it. The butler says, "Let me give you some sweets and drinks. What would your friends like to have, miss?" So Oneiroi says, "Why don't you just ask them?" And the housekeeper simply looks at Oneiroi indifferently as she bends over her. Onerai has no choice but to ask her friends one by one, then convey the information to the housekeeper, who quickly gets the food ready. Weird. I don't know if that's gonna come back or not. The butler says, I've also put your toys back in their right place. I hope your new friends can integrate into this big family of toys as soon as possible. Okay, it's starting to get creepy weird. Okay, what do you mean by that, butler? What do you mean by that, integrate into your family of what do you mean by that? Or is it a weird dream thing where we're talking to our quote-unquote toys as if they're real people, but they just look, they're actually toys that can't speak. So the butler sees them as like these inanimate objects. We are able to like hear them, or Oneira is able to like hear them because kids talk to toys and have tea parties with their toys and things like that. But it's a weird layered dream aspect of it. Or maybe we're just being gaslit into thinking that's what's going on and it's not really going on at all. Anyways, Oneira says, you're mistaken, Madam Housekeeper. These are my friends, not toys. The butler says, I think, Oneira, you should make some friends more worthy of your station. Oh, we're definitely being gaslit. Oneira says, what's that supposed to mean? And the housekeeper does not answer. Instead, she looks at the giant robot, the fluffy ball, and the inorganic human-shaped entity, damn, you did not have to do Ms. Puppet like that, behind Oneira and shakes her head. She says, oh, by the way, Madam Housekeeper, they have something to ask of you. They all lost something. I thought you'd be able to help them. The butler says, I might not be able to help if this were any other day. But right now, there are more important matters that demand my attention. Oh, I read it as might not be able to help, but it is might be able to help. So she's like, I could do that, but not today. I'm busy. Call back later. The robot says, so by more important matters and right now, do you mean that once you're done with them, you'll be able to help us with our problems? That sounds like something worth looking forward to. I'm not afraid of waiting, for I'm a robot. What I am least afraid of is waiting. Okay, so now the butler's talking to them. See, the butler was just gaslighting us. She says, I suppose you can understand it that way. Ooh, art. Look at that. All right, housekeeper, pop off. But the housekeeper's face is devoid of expression, or rather, the shape of her head does not allow her to express any emotions through her face. She says, if there's nothing else, I have to go now. Oneira says, wait, I have another question for you. The butler says, what is it? And Oneira says, out in the hall along the third row on the left-hand side, there are only 23 stars left. The butler says, maybe the 24th star has moved somewhere else, to another home. Oneira says, but why would the star do that? You don't have to worry about that. I am your housekeeper, the butler says, and I'll take care of everything here for you, miss. If you have to worry about something, it means I'm not doing my job right. So please, have fun with your new toy. No. New friends, miss. I'll take my leave now. Flashbang again. Can we stop with the flashbangs, Yo Star, please? I'm recording this at 7 o'clock at night. It is dark in my room, and it hurts my eyeballs. The housekeeper turns into a shroud of mist and disappears into the air. Okay, goodbye, housekeeper. Thank you. Mama Sheep says, your housekeeper has a really odd way of speaking, but at least she seems willing to listen to you. Oneira says, no, she isn't usually like this. I read that wrong, but we're gonna rock with it. Maybe she's just tired. Miss Puppet says, Oneira, it's so great that you have a housekeeper to take care of you. And the robot says, looking at the current situation, if I were Oneira, and my powerful housekeeper was willing to listen to me, would I actually have more power than this housekeeper? This is true. Oneira says, I don't quite understand what you're saying. Does Mr. Robot think that he's better than the housekeeper? The robot says, no, I wouldn't dare to think so. Just pretend that I didn't say anything. Robot, you're fine. Anyway, Oneira says, welcome to my home, everyone. She looks so happy. I love that for her. Do we have more? Yes. Oneira says, this place is very interesting, and all the toys inside are my favorites. Weird that it went black for like a hot second. Ms. Puppet says there's a puppet here too. Ms. Puppet is looking at a puppet sitting in the corner. Compared to her, this puppet looks rather crudely made, for its limbs can move only when manipulated by somebody else. As for Miss Puppet, although she was controlled using strings earlier, now that the strings are broken, she can still walk on her own volition. Miss Puppet holds the puppet up to the window, its gemstone eyes facing out. She says, look at the world outside. It's so big. If you want to see it, I can help you. And while the puppet can't speak, a ray of light seems to flash in its gemstone eyes. That's probably just the sunlight from the outside being refracted, Miss Puppet thinks. So then what? Do they all play with a little toy that looks like them and it just gets really weird? I think one thing that does concern me is whatever the heck is going on with these hands over here, because they're kind of melting into each other. Like, I'm not saying it looks like AI art, but like they're kind of just melting into each other. Like, weirdly so. I think that might be the point though. It's supposed to look jarringly weird. Now you got me looking at the rest of the art. Like, is there anything else that looks like strange like that? No, everything else looks like strange, but like properly made. So I think we're in the clear. I think it's supposed to just be extremely jarring though. Like I said earlier, because it gives off like Howl's Room and Howl's Moving Castle sort of vibes, which is also just has weird stuff going on everywhere. The longer I look at this bear, I thought this was a bear plushie at first. I think it's supposed to be a beaver, and the longer I look at it, I'm kind of uncomfortable though. Anyways, the robot says a toy train set. Looks good. If I could transform myself, I'd transform into a car so that I can speed around however I wish. Mr. Robot, have you ever heard of a franchise called Transformers? I think you'd love it. The toy train, originally designed for children, is even smaller compared to the giant robot. It tries to add another car to the train, but its clumsy fingers simply cannot get the tiny hook into the right place. I feel that as I guess a chronic false nails wearer. So like I have like acrylic nails on right now. You cannot do anything with these things. I can barely open packaging. But the robot eventually gives up after a string of failed attempts. However, as it stands back up from the floor, it accidentally kicks a section of the track and causes it to dislodge. It's gonna do something. The toy train, having come to this section around the same time, runs off the track. But the train does not tip over or stop. Instead, it simply keeps on moving forward off the track. My brain just short-circuited again. All right, the robot says, if this were not in the sweet dream house, but on an open plain, I believe that this tiny train would be able to reach the edge of the world in a few decades. So there's the robot having a brain. I'm like, first of all, why? Because I had a moment where I was like, why is this important, Mr. Robot? And then I realized, oh, it's supposed to show that he has a brain. And Miss Puppet is able to feel things because she had emotion for the like crudely drawn puppet. Ha ha ha, this is the scene where they all realize, oh hey, we actually had those things all along, and it's the thing that the not wizard is going to reference later. The robot says, unfortunately, things never go the way we wish them to. So it's better for the toy train to continue going in circles around the toy track. See, it has a brain. The robot bends down, picks up the train, and puts it back on the track. Yeah, there's the robot having a brain. So then Mama Sheep now is going to do something brave. Oh. She says, sweet little Oneroy, I think I have to say goodbye to you now. Oneroy says, why? And Mama Sheep says, I'm only here to look for my child. There's no need for me to stay any longer since he isn't here and you've arrived home safely. It's this Mama Sheep being brave because she's going to look for her kid on her own. Ms. Puppet and the robot, having lost interest in the offerings of the Sweet Dream House and failing to find what they were looking for, also returned to Oneroy to tell her that they're leaving. So it's taking a turn. It had the Wizard of Oz thing going for a minute, but it is taking a turn. Oneroy says, I get you. You all have more important things to do, and I can't possibly keep you all around just to play with me. She says bye to everyone, and then says, if you like, you can always come and play with me in the future. Mama Sheep says, what a sweet child you are. If my Lambie were here, he'd definitely have a lot of fun playing with you. The robot says, I should probably have my thought-thinking module back the next time I'm here, and I'll be able to answer your questions then. Even if one of them is about how to make a 3-day-old hamburger taste as yummy as a freshly baked cake. What the heck? Ms. Puppet says hamburgers. Awful. Which is also her having like emotion or feelings towards something. Oneroy says, I'll head out with you. I have to get the housekeeper to fix the section of the White Knight Gallery that's collapsed anyway. So Oneroy walks to the door and turns the candy cane handle, also say that 5 times fast, clockwise, twice as usual. However, the door doesn't open as expected. Don't tell me we're locked in here, it gets weirder. Oneroy says, why can't I open this? She tries to turn the candy cane handle counterclockwise, but the door remains stubbornly closed. Then, after several unsuccessful attempts, the candy cane falls off the door. So we're just stuck here. I say let's break this foreboding window. Mama Sheep says, what is it, little Oneroy? Is there a problem? Yes, there absolutely is. Oneroy says, the door's broken and I can't open it. But it's okay, I can ask the housekeeper for help. Housekeeper's gone, bestie. Again, the housekeeper only appears after she calls out to her 3 times. Is that supposed to be like the click your heels 3 times in your home thing? Or a reference to it? Or just like a haha funny reference to it? Because it's not actually relevant to that, but you know. The butler says, what can I do for you? And Oneroy says, my friends want to leave, but the door is broken and can't be opened. So the butler says, you shouldn't be opening that door in the first place. We've opened it before. Oneroy says, what does that mean? The butler says, it's very dangerous outside. Neither your friends nor you should head out. Miss Puppet says, so, has anyone else noticed that she's no longer calling her Miss? Is that a problem? And Mama Sheep says, it just might be. Oneroy says, but we just came in from the outside. It's real sunny and bright out there. Doesn't seem dangerous at all. So the butler says, are you sure? You lost your way outside, and were even pursued by those strange soldiers. Are they not your soldier? I thought... Anyways, I don't know who soldiers those are anymore. So Oneroy says, okay then. I mean, you are the housekeeper of the dream. You must know everything. The butler says, I can forget about how you sneaked out the last time. From now on, you will not leave the sweet dream house again. Oh, this is getting weird. Onere says, what? That's... It will keep you safe from harm, the butler says. Onere says, I just want to go out and play. Can't I do that? The butler says, no. Then how long will I have to stay in here? The butler says, forever. So Onere says, are you joking? The housekeeper shakes her head. Why? So the butler says, you may be wondering if you're being locked up here because you did something wrong. But as your housekeeper, I don't have the power to punish you. What I do have is an obligation to keep you safe. See, it almost seems like the sentient AI paradox of once the AI, like the sentient robot paradox. Like you tell the robot, keep XYZ safe at all costs. And this is how it decides to do that, by going rogue a little bit, like in a really weird way. The butler says, the outside world is very dangerous, but at the very least, I'm able to ensure the safety of this sweet dream house. Isn't that a good thing for you? But Onere says, if that's the case, won't you be very tired, Madam Housekeeper, from having to take care of everything? I don't want things to be this way. Besides, it's not like I'm completely helpless. I was able to give everyone a hand on my way back just now, you know? If it's really as dangerous as out there as you said, maybe I can help solve some of the problems there. The butler says, you don't have to. I repeat, it is my duty to protect you, and I will do my job right. This is getting weird. But Mama Sheep says, can you really protect little Onere forever like you said? There's Mama Sheep being brave, standing up to the housekeeper. But the housekeeper didn't respond to Madam Sheep's query, and the air in the house becomes still for a moment. However, this doesn't seem to faze Mama Sheep, and she continues to speak. She says, little Onere tells me that you're a very good housekeeper. But since you're unable to bring Onere back directly from the outside to the sweet dream house, proves that you aren't an omnipotent god. There'll always be surprises in the long forever that you talk about. How is little Onere, who's become used to being coddled, going to face those difficulties alone when something unexpected does happen? Yep, Mama Sheep is now being brave. We've come full circle. The butler says your argument is nothing but a perversion of logic, and your assumptions are simply invalid. But Mama Sheep says this keeping her safe you speak of seems a bit too optimistic. The butler says, I think I have explained myself enough. Since you regard them as friends, you probably won't be too bored staying here in the sweet dream house with them. They shouldn't have to stay here. The housekeeper disappears in a wisp of black smoke. Let's start breaking windows. There's enough doodads in here that we can break a window. Get the chair! Onere calls out after Madam Housekeeper, but she's gone. So Miss Puppet says the door remains firmly shut. The robot says, when exactly will she finish whatever urgent matter she's busy with? I'm still waiting for her to help me get my thought-thinking module back. But Onere says, urgent matters? Or is something bad really happening in the world outside? Onere walks to the window. The toy puppet is lying on the floor with darkness reflected in its eyes. She picks it up and puts it back in the cabinet. Bum bum. Oh, there's little Onere. It should be sunny outside the window. It's always sunny outside the window. This is actually a really nice shot. I like it. Onere has always liked to sit by the window and watch the pure golden light fall on the objects to the ground. Or fall on the objects on the ground. Okay, cool. Yeah. However, right now there's a deep purple hue obscuring what used to be a clear view. The color is dark and abnormal. Its dense undercurrent is pouring down from the dome, passing through the thin windows and pressing down heavily on her heart. Mama Sheep says, what's wrong, little Onere? Could something bad really have happened? So Onere says, this is the color of nightmare. The beautiful dream has become a nightmare. Bum bum! Confirm. How many stages are there? Because I don't want to like end here, but honestly, we probably could end the video here and we just do another. I think I'm gonna end the video here. My back hurts, but we'll just end it here. Why not? Maybe I refill my water bottle, or even just sit here for like 10 minutes and come back. I was not planning on doing story today, and that's why I'm so like burnt. But also, I gotta finish this now, because if this is time gated, it's gonna go away in like an hour or two, I think. So we're gonna take a short pause, and I'm gonna cut the video here, and we'll be back for the rest of this. If there's only like, if this off again is the last part, it just doesn't seem like it's the last part, so I'm gonna cut this event in half, but we'll come back. Don't worry, we'll come back. Don't worry about it. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more, and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. As always, I hope everyone had or is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys!